Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. In today's message, I am going to be receiving advice and guidance for those of you who might be needing a little bit of heart healing, help with their heart and throat chakra. Specifically, Spirit called to me to channel messages about overcoming heartbreak within the collective. Any advice and guidance to help you either relieve what you might be going through right now. And for those of you who need to receive this message and resonate with this reading, thank you for being here. I really do hope this helps. I wish anybody well who might be going through a little bit of a tough time now. And your angels and spirit guardians are with you. As I was sitting down to channel messages for this reading, a lot of angels actually were surrounding me. So just know that there is a lot of help surrounding everybody in the world during times when there's trouble and a lot of grief happening, and you're just surrounded by this very warm and welcoming presence. And again, I thank you for being here today, and keep up the good work. You might be struggling right now. Maybe this feels like it's hitting close to home for some of you. And I will link any of the songs I receive in the description below. If that helps you heal any energy I pick up from these messages, I will do my best to keep this more of a clear channeling message today, just to get guidance straight from source. So thank you for being here to receive these messages. And let's really jump right into it right away. But again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and I appreciate everyone here for being here to receive this guidance. I was actually told that some of you came from my most previous or recent reading regarding messages from the Pleiades, but also the spirit guidance from spirit guides, and also a soul family reading recently. So some of you are pursuing possibly a a manifestation regarding a soul family right now, and that seems to be happening a lot within the collective. It's where all of our souls are moving together in tandem, and we want to move towards each other to find this spiritual continuity within each other, to feel like we're home. There's a presence, there's a family. And some of you might be grieving the loss of a family, whether you walked away or you lost them, or they were someone who previously gave you guidance and now you don't know where to find it. Also, just know that they're there for you in spirit. They are always there for you. The divine is here for you. So I'm actually going to first off start with the songs that I received when I was first tapping into this energy and channeling. The first song that came up, which might be the energy you're in now, is Nothing Breaks Like a Heart by Miley Cyrus. The line that came up specifically was, "This world can hurt you, it cuts you deep and leaves a scar, but nothing hurts like a heart." Or breaks like a heart. But your heart definitely is hurting. There's a lot of need to overcome this. I feel like a sense of relief actually in my heart chakra right now. The other song that came up was Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap, if that's how you pronounce her name. Um, the line was, "Blood and tears, they were here first." And there was a lot of almost like anger and pain behind that. And I feel like if you're not in that energy, a lot of you might be just resolving issues, because part of the grieving process, there's anger, there's tears, there's like this fight that goes on within your mind and your soul and your heart. Because the biggest reason why we feel heartache and pain and anger and resentment towards another person who we might have had to step away from, or even someone we lost, is because we loved in the first place. It's that love. It feels like it's been taken from us. It's a piece of our energy that has been almost severed, and we're grieving a loss not only outside of ourselves, but within ourselves. So you're not wrong for having loved a person who has wronged you, and loving a person who has moved on, who was good for you and loved you. That is just as equally hurtful. And it's okay to grieve and process that, and even be angry, to feel those tears. It's just a part of releasing. So there's no shame in that. The gradual process. Because what I was also given was a resolution to this grieving cycle, and actually feeling your feelings and facing your fears and letting go of that anger in a healthy way. The song Levitating by Dua Lipa came up, and then I felt this joy, like everything's going to be okay. Like literally I can hear that song now instead of the other two. So you are heading towards a time once you release that grief and pain and heal your heart, we're just going to feel like you're walking on air. It's going to feel a lot better. And one of the angels that came in to me, or spoke through me when I was channeling these messages, was Gabriel. He seems to be presiding over this reading actually right now. Archangel Gabriel, who is an angel, a messenger angel of communication. He was the one who, I believe, worked with Daniel, the prophet, um, the Lion's Den, that story, and the one who announced the birth of Jesus, and gave that information to Mary. So if those of you follow him or want to get to know him, the signs that he's around you are white aura flashes. And how he appears to me is an angel wearing a green robe. And he often appears alongside Raphael occasionally, but he's helping you to be able to speak your feelings, and acknowledge them or talk about them, to be able to heal your heart. So he's almost doing a combination of throat chakra, heart chakra healing, because talking about it is one of the biggest ways you can release a lot of that grief, a lot of what's happening, worries and fears. Going to a group therapy session actually came to mind. For some of you, I heard the phrase Alcoholics Anonymous. And, there are different types of community support groups that aren't just for those types of like addictions and stuff like that. But if you are going to those groups, like, or 10, 12-step program, um, that community support basically is what Archangel Gabriel is trying to get through. Facing your fears head on, but also relying on support from the community. If you have a support group, if you know of one, or just look online for resources in your area. Usually there are places and companies that have a lot of different numbers for resources and community support groups, and you'll be surprised by how many of them are actually around. So he also communicates through music. And if those of you coming from my Pleiadian reading, if you have a clairaudient gift breaking through, Gabriel also communicates through, clairaudiently, whether that is, a thought flows into your mind out of nowhere, or if you do channel messages, you think about something and it just feels right. That's usually how he communicates with me. And it feels like with some of you, he communicates that way. I'm actually seeing this gold link chain necklace around someone's neck. If I'm hearing that was either a grandmother's or grandfather's jewelry or something. Okay, that is something. Okay, thank you for reminding me, Gabriel. That did come up. This is why I channel messages before I start recording, because it's a lot to do with just straight up on camera. I just get a lot of it beforehand and see if it does come through. But if you want to connect with someone who has passed on to the other side, um, they are still here for you in spirit. Your memory and your love for them and their love for you is the thing that keeps them alive. Even as they have passed on from the physical plane, they are there with you spiritually. And some of them might have been actually mentoring you in a skill, um, or you worked for them. I'm seeing like a cafe. I'm seeing a lot of actually like brass instruments, like a saxophone. So they might have mentored you in a gift or skill. The best way to honor a loved one that has passed on is to connect to them through whatever common bond you had, and praying to them while holding a necklace or talking to them like they're right in front of you as you did when they were living, while holding something that reminds you of them is one of the best ways you can connect with them. And I feel like there's a gift you've been given that you know what this is. Whatever they gave you or whatever you have within you spiritually, whether it's your own gift of channeling abilities, connecting with what was a common interest or what made you the happiest around them. Like if they taught you to bake or cook, being in the kitchen and talking with them like you were when you were a kid is the best and easiest way to communicate with a loved one that has passed on. And you don't need to hear their end of the conversation, because in some way you know what their end of the conversation would be. And even if you start crying and you feel like, why did I do this? I just feel sad. That is actually kind of a good thing. What I'm going to say, one of the most misunderstood things about the processing grief nowadays is people don't want to feel bad. They don't want to feel pain. Don't want to cry. But the point is you have to kind of feel it to process it, to let it through. That's the point of healing. If you bottle up those emotions, it increases in intensity over time. And the more losses you accumulate, you're just going to end up almost rotting your soul from within. And that's not a good thing. There's like this bottle of stagnant water inside of you that needs to be released a little bit over time. And when you lose someone, the grieving process really does take time, a lot more time than maybe this world will afford to us with the rise and grind, robot factory worker mindset. But the thing is, to heal and grieve is to give yourself patience and time and years, and that's okay. So if you're talking with like a loved one and it's Christmas time and you lost them and you're in your room just channeling a message from them and holding on to a locket and just saying these things out loud for them to hear, even if they're not there with you, if you cry it out, you will feel so much better, because in a sense they are there with you in the same way when they were alive, helping you cry it out. When you had a problem, you'd go to them, you cry on their shoulder, they would hold you, and they're still holding you in spirit. It's just a matter of building that reconnection and realizing that you're still interacting with them in the same way. You're crying it out and you feel better. Hug your pillow and just know that they're patting you on the back. That is the biggest message for any of you who might have lost someone recently, because I have been feeling someone here, or a few of you here might have lost like grandparents, a grandmother, grandfather, or maybe even a parent or sibling recently. So have faith that they are there with you. You are never alone. You have all these angels around you and you are okay. And it's safe to process these feelings. Like the body will know when it's safe to feel these things. And that's why they come through when you're alone in your room talking with them, or you're with someone you know it's safe to cry around. You just know, and you just got to let it from your body. And there's no shame in that. Let me get a look at where you are right now. I think there's a need for you to be very open and honest with yourself about your needs and your wants, and to set boundaries with those who might almost like need you, because there might be complications with the grieving process when you're in survival mode, or you're there for other people, or you need to be strong for other people. That could make either the grieving process a lot longer one, or make it worse, especially if you have to bottle up your emotions to be strong for others. So if you are in the process of dealing with this pain and healing from it, um, it seems like your soul needs to rest, and you know that. And God, the universe, your spirit guides, your angels wants to give you that. If you ask for it and accept it, just taking even 1 hour a day in your room to meditate or process these wounds or fear, or if you even are too busy for that, when you're alone or you're somewhere, like before you go to bed, just even taking the time to do it then, an hour before you go to bed or half an hour, take time for yourself, grieve, like, because it's not right for you to have to live with these worries or fears. It's not right for you to have to be struggling all the time. And even if you can't give yourself a day off, at least give yourself the time and energy, whatever you can afford to do, to give yourself a safe space for yourself to heal. Talk with your angels, go to church, go to a library and sit in a room alone or read a book. Give yourself rest. The one thing that spirit is calling for you to do during this time and phase of your healing is to rest, center yourself, release control. He wants to help you. He wants to nurture you. He wants to baby you. And actually, Archangel Gabriel wants to help you too. If you work with angels, call upon him. Like he said, light a green candle. If you work with candle magic, or if you identify as someone who works with spirit magic, lighting a green candle. He told me also scented candle. So some of you, okay, so the scented candle aspect has to do with a scent that actually brings joy to you. So even if you light like an essential oil candle, he actually showed me a lime or lemon lime, tropical scents, green apple or apple scent. If you have any candles like that, also manifestation candles. But I'm seeing a lot of, like, you need a lot of green energy around that candle, because there are different manifestation candles that have like intentions put into them. I bought actually a couple of them from a homemade, it was handcrafted and homemade, um, and just requesting the heart chakra healing intentions, as well as like stones, crystals to be infused there. But spirit also gave me like some spices that might help you if you drink tea, because I'm still seeing like apple, a green apple might be something that will help your heart heal, color magic especially. But spirit just said cardamom. Cardamom might be a good spice to put in tea. I know there was a tea I had with vanilla and cardamom, and actually felt like really relaxing. It felt like it opened up my solar plexus and lungs, so that might be good for you. Um, you might need some amethyst, because I'm seeing lavender and lilac, the flowers and the color. If you're highly psychic and it's hard for you to rest, even like on a slow day or a normal day, I'm also hearing covering your heart chakra with something that will protect you. So, like, I'm seeing a black tourmaline necklace. If you've been feeling a lot of emotions around you, or you've been like, there's this intensifying of your claircognizance, claircognizance gift, or if you're feeling a little bit more highly sensitive to the energies around you, protect your heart. Uh, Sometimes clothing can actually be protective for your heart. Colors to wear for heart protection might be black, actually, I'm seeing, or, anything close to your heart chakra area that is black. I'm seeing someone wearing a vest. I'm seeing someone wearing a pocket protector. That's interesting. A black pen in your a pocket protector. Suspenders and overalls. So the main idea is to protect your crown and heart chakra if you're awakening to a lot of these psychic abilities, or you find yourself more vulnerable to energies outside of you, because that happens when we grieve, especially if you identify as highly sensitive or psychic empath. Our inner mechanisms for maintaining a space of empathy either get like amplified or weakened when we're more vulnerable. When we're grieving, we might want to run away from our pain. Usually I find that in my own healing. So that's why I'm saying the universal we. We either want to hide from our own pain through others by assisting them through theirs, like escaping helping ourselves by helping others, essentially. And that might be true for a few of you. So it's important for you to sit down. I'm seeing a green apple Jolly Rancher. So that definitely feels like either a scent, a flavor you might like or might actually help you. There's a sense of rekindling childlike joy too. So in balance and in moderation, if you do like that type of candy, uh, that might be confirmation for you to just kind of give yourself that treat, just to reconnect you with your inner child as well. Um, So let's get some advice, more advice. Let's get some more advice as to, what you can do to relieve this energy. Okay, it's basically just standing in your truth, standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself, expressing your needs and wants to others. And if others cannot provide for you, you find a way to provide for yourself or ask God, your spirits, your angels for help, and the universe will bring that to you in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes it's through another person. And Gabriel just said sometimes it's through as a random spirit medium. And I'm like, is that me, Gabriel? He likes to be a little bit sassy to me. That's our like relationship. Oh yeah, he comes through my readings as like dad humor, and he tries to relate to me. You might have fathers or grandfathers who passed on that you have that type of relationship with, and there's a lot more actually masculine energy surrounding this reading today. But I just got an image of like the emoji of XD. He's like XD lol. That's really distracting in my mind's eye, Gabriel. But that might be it. You might. I'm also hearing stored in the stone. Sorry. Whoa, goodness gracious, tongue tied. I heard the phrase "sword in the stone." That might have been a movie you watched growing up. I believe it's a Disney movie. You might actually like Monty Python. And the Holy Grail, or even Monty Python's Flying Circus. You might have enjoyed that growing up, watching with your grandfather or father. Yeah, because I'm picking up on that a lot. The other day was grandmother energy. Today is grandfather and uncle energy. Spirit wants you to know that it's okay to speak your truth. Relieve yourself through communicating with others, angel spirit guides. Some of you might actually either be active in the church, go to the church, or move into a new church, because I just saw someone sitting in a confessional booth with a priest or a pastor. Or if you're moving on from that, speaking with a person you identify as a light worker, a holy person, someone within a religious structure might be helpful for you. Or like Gabriel was saying, just listen to a random psychic medium online, XD lol. Because y'all, I'm here for you. You don't know the half of it. I love this. I love that you're working through this. I love helping you. I just want to say that there's a lot of love here for you. And I feel like some of you, or most of you, might have overcome a lot of the painful hurt of this, because I am not feeling that you are in this state of like grieving. And the reason why I say that is because my heart isn't hurting. Usually when I channel grief or really painful energy, my heart hurts, or I feel it in my heart. Basically, my heart chakra really starts hurting. I feel like you've gone through that, or you're at this space of emotional detachment, but not in a bad way, or you're just so exhausted. It feels like your soul is just very exhausted. Like you've done the crying part of the grieving, or you're anticipating it's going to happen and it's okay. And this is confirmation to you, you're not alone. Um, One of the things actually I was thinking about this morning, and my spirit guides brought it up to me for a reason to say this to you now. I, if those of you feel alone, I just want to say to you, we are never alone. And in fact, I really have never liked the phrase, we enter into this world alone and we'll die in this world alone, or however that phrase goes. It's we leave this world as we enter in, like naked and alone. And I've always, that phrase never sat well with me, and I didn't know why until most recently, when I started waking up to my previous lifetimes and my soul's gifts, let's just call it. Letting go of a human ego is not an easy thing to do. It's the most difficult thing to do on this journey. And a lot of us always feel like we're alone. We're the only ones here. Spirit wants you to be gentle when you feel that way. It's not your fault. But what I will say to you, and what was constantly reconfirmed to me during my awakening, is that we are never alone. First of all, yes, on the spiritual plane, we are infinite, we are immortal. God is always present, He is there with you. So, while the more literal interpretation of that saying might be, well, your soul enters into your body, you're alone, and you're naked and crying, it's like that is not true. Your physical body is a manifestation of your spiritual body entering into the physical plane. But spiritually, you are not alone. Your mother's there with you. Your mother's higher self was there with you before you entered in through her womb space and into the world crying. The people who surround your mother, her ancestors, her guardians are there with you. And even as you leave this world, the people who are waiting for you on the other side are there with you. Your higher self is there with you. And while we are born into this world thinking we are completely detached, there's always something, someone watching and listening, whether in the spiritual plane of this world, this earth, Mother Earth, the spirit of the trees, nature, or it's in the higher consciousness of the divine and source. There is always a presence. There is always something or someone there. And the idea that we are alone stems from just being trapped in this mortal plane, seeing what's in front of us, but not knowing what's outside of us. And the idea that we do actually physically incarnate to go along our soul's path does not necessarily mean we have to always do it alone or accomplish it alone. It means that we have to experience it in our own way, from our own perspective, point of view, and our lessons are our own. So I guess the point I want to tell you is, as someone who has witnessed their own birth before they were born, I can actually safely tell you this. In a previous incarnation that I woke to, like last year, I saw myself being born into that lifetime. I was at the crown of my mother with her higher self, watching her give birth to me. And at the bedside was someone that I had a karmic contract with, their higher self, was there with me to basically see me into the mortal plane and meet me later. And then someone else's higher self was right in front of me, depicting the journey I would go through and letting me know I was not alone. So even as I was being born in another life through this woman that I didn't know yet, in a world I didn't know yet, I was witnessing myself being surrounded by so many people. And yet in that lifetime, I felt so alone, like no one got me, no one understood me. And everyone who's born into a physical body feels that way, especially when we're on a lower, I guess, more darkly aligned vibrational plane. And that's just a result of the ego, almost detached from divine consciousness and unconditional love. So in that space before birth, I was not alone. And as I was being born, the higher self of people I would meet were there with me, witnessing my birth. And then I will also tell you this: I am a spirit guide for a lot of different soul families across the universe. And in the past, I have witnessed them as they were dying. That is a gift of mine that I was given and I was reconnected to. My human brain can't really fully comprehend it. So it's given to me in a very abstract, esoteric way. But in a sense, as I was witnessing the death of someone that my soul was born to give guidance to protection to, like an ancestor, like your grandfather or grandmother's or ancestors might be there with you. I was there with this person, and I was there as she died. I entered into her body just as the split second before life and death to usher her soul from her body so she knew she was safe and not alone. Just as we are being given this chance of life through our mothers, from a midwife, from a person, their hands are holding us, or we're being guided through the womb space into existence, there is a soul, there is a divine energy around you who is birthing you into the afterlife. So I want you to take that as a piece of comfort for you to know that you are truly never alone. In the physical world, you might be, but in the spiritual world, there's always hope. There's always love and laughter. And I want to give you that piece of hope and advice because you're not going to feel this pain forever. And you're not going to be alone forever, because what I'm also hearing is that you have a divine counterpart on its way. And if you've been asking for that, you have a soulmate or a soul family reunion at the tail end of this. And God just wants you to trust yourself and have patience for this process, because you are coming into a time of unity and cosmic alignment, which means that you are one with the flow of the universe. And being in a state of unconditional love means you are in a state of divine purity and unity and aligned with not only the material world and safe in the material world, but basically safe within God, source itself, knowing that no matter what happens, you are truly loved, you are truly home. And there's nothing anyone can do, nothing in this world that can take you away from his love. And so one of the last songs that came up, it is a Christian song. It's called Be Glad, and I'll link that in the description below. But the line that came up was, there is no, there is no, hold on, let me try to get this. So the line is, there is no disease or no struggle that could pull you from God. Be glad. So that's what I'm going to leave you here with today, dear viewers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you once again. You are loved. You are always welcome here. The Lord, the divine source, appreciates you too. Find gratitude in your day-to-day life and know that you are a treasure unto this world. And there's nothing you can do that will take you away from God and his love. I wish you the best. Until next time.